Well, hi, it's brilliant to have you with us. Whilst we're just waiting for additional people to log on, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for sparing your time. And you'll see there's a QR code at the bottom there. So whilst we're waiting, maybe use your camera phone, click on the QR, and that will take you through to register for our no-code playbook release on the 4th of October. So please do use our time whilst we just wait for some extra people to join. Use that QR code there and let's sign up for the no-code playbook release. How you doing, Alex? You okay?
Yeah, all is good. How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, no, it's good. Looking forward to getting going. I think, wow, we got quite a few people logging on, which is great. I think let's just give it another 30 seconds or so, and then we'd be delighted to be talking through how to build an agile operations with no code. We're going to talk through some strategies to really get this into success. Yeah, really looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing it in action, Alex.
Absolutely. Should be quite an exciting webinar today.
Fantastic. Well, I guess let's give it a go. To introduce ourselves, we're just going to talk through the agility. We're going to talk through how no code can be an essential part to operational excellence. We're going to talk through the 5 strategies that we can achieve using no code. And then we're going to see it in action before doing some Q&A. So just to let you know who's talking. So I'm Andrew. I look after the business here at Creatio, covering Europe and down as far as Australia, New Zealand. Brilliant to be here, and joined my esteemed colleague, Alex. Alex, could you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely, guys. Alex Petronenko, Product Evangelist and Pre-Sales Director at Creatio. So I'm all about product, all about value they can bring to the table, and I'm going to be running a short demonstration of our platform today.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Alex. So Creatio, we have our no-code platform. We're going to be talking about this later. We're just to introduce in terms of other perspectives, we're very fortunate to be well recognized by Forrester and Gartner with many top quadrant leader positions and magic waves. But it's actually the bottom of the slide there that I'd draw your attention to in terms of our customers. Okay, these are feedback engines, independent, nothing to do with Creatio, and our customers are scoring us between 4.8 and 5 out of 5, which is really top tier and very much reflects our position on genuine care. We're also very fortunate to receive some recognition here, but the purpose of today is to talk about agility in operations. Okay, so agility is very much seen as something that we can produce as a core competency. Okay, it's the ability to deliver business outcomes like speed, time to market, reduced cost of quality through the innovation, okay, the sustainable model of operations. So our business really expected to have a flexible structure, a simplified technology, robust digital platforms, lean processes to drive agility. So not a lot there, hey, but we have pressure across the whole organization, the need to move ever so quickly, quicker and quicker and quicker to meet decisions, to meet the dynamic situation in the market. So organizational agility, look, it's something that's maybe defined as a mindset, but it's the ability to view this disruption. It's the ability to take it as an opportunity rather than a threat. It really allows us to adapt. So looking at this from an insights point of view, we have pretty much a 30% improvement. Okay, performance can be gained by using agile transformations. This is coming from McKinsey. A 5 to 10 times increase speed through driving change and decision making through a simplified operating model. That's the key, simplified operating model. The 30% of employee engagement that gets increased by people having that autonomy, the purpose, the empowered position to the business from having a platform. When we're talking about how to drive the operational agility for the organization, we can look at this in 4 ways, okay? The agile leadership here, looking at the various processes within an organization, how to identify the opportunities for innovation and agility. Alongside the need at a leadership level for agility, there's culture and how you bring the innovation to the forefront, how you approach things that is more flexible and innovative, how you can take that approach and give it an importance to what we would call no coders or citizen development. So bringing the culture of innovation is an important aspect to this. We also need to look at IT, okay? Business units build their own solutions through the power of no code, but it's also very much interacts and works with IT and the workload that can be decreased, I guess, through utilization of the business. IT is still extremely important, still very valuable. The platforms still need lots of integration, for example, at the back end, but we are empowering the business to make those decisions, to own the platform. And then we look at the various procedures, the protocols that need to be in place, the structure, clear set of responsibilities that allow the various levels, the roles of employees to really have an effect with the platform. And these 4 elements are really what allow us to drive operational agility. If we step back and look at the operational excellence, there are some key pillars, in fact 5 of them, okay? The innovation, bringing innovation to the forefront. And this is something that the platform allows us to do, to really boost that innovation and get continuous improvement. It's very different to the world of packaged applications, which is very hierarchical and is somewhat removed from the business as a whole. Because the business are managing the platform, it allows the business, who understand the business best, right, to really empower and boost those innovations. Strategy is important, having the correct strategies, eliminating complexity. We talked earlier about simplicity, and it's really important. Eliminating complexity through having the correct strategies is an important pillar of excellence. Having the right resources and budgets, not having a dependency on needing external expertise, actually harnessing the no coders to really allow us to be much more swift and efficient by using that dynamic performance, and having employees, the most valuable talent within an organization, taking advantage of the understanding within business. Having a stability in the workforce is an important element of operational intelligence. So if I turn now to no code, how this is a key to this operational excellence. So I mentioned earlier about the packaged applications, okay? Packaged applications, taking them off the shelf, quicker to deploy, but not in a position where you can tailor those to make specific business requirements. You end up configuring and ending up quite often in a customized position that you cannot then upgrade easily. It becomes a major decision point. It slows things down. On the other end of the spectrum, in a traditional nature, custom development, starting from a blank screen, coding allows you to get very specific, but it takes a long time to get there. It's expensive to develop. It's then cumbersome and costly to keep up to date. So traditionally, on the left there, your development solutions are really from a packaged application through to custom development. No code actually brings the benefit of both, okay? It allows us to go very swiftly, in fact, a lot quicker than packaged applications. It allows us to customize which is a bad word in the world of packaged apps, but not in the world of Creatio and no-code platforms. In fact, Creatio provides unlimited customizations that are fully upgradable. So the customizations allow us to mimic the benefit of custom development, where we can get very specific to an organization's need. So that top red box is really the benefit of speed and personalization without getting into the expense and the slow element of customization in a packaged app world or in custom development. Excuse me. And the business impact of this is that we can go a lot quicker. In fact, we are regularly taking customers live within a month in terms of getting the platform up and running and a use case being moved. That's far quicker than either a packaged app or indeed custom development. It really boosts the development, the automation efficiency, because we are empowering the business. It means that there's no big, strong dependency on external organizations needing to implement this. It allows us to be a lot more fluid with our business because IT are providing the integration element, the business analysts and business are actually managing those processes within the platform. All of this allows agility for operations at a reduced cost, whether that's customer facing or whether it's automating processes within the organization. Now, the 5 strategies to achieve these excellence with no code is really about empowering the team with no code. It allows us to use the composable applications, building blocks, if you like, within the application, within the platform, to reuse and build up the processes that are needed to allow us to change those processes faster using no code. It creates a unified operations. It allows us to onboard employees. It allows us to onboard customers. It allows us to take those operations from various parts of the business, whether they're internal or whether they're customer facing, and really create an accelerated operation. And why is it important? Well, if you look at the industry, if you look at how many developers there are worldwide, 25 million is the estimate, okay? We are facing, however, the need for over 500 million new applications over the next few years. 25 million developers cannot produce the 500 million needed apps. However, if you start to tap into the knowledge workers, to the business, then you've got a talent pool that understands the business, and it's a lot bigger. 1.7 billion will absolutely be able to work with those 25 million developers to start to address the needs of all of these applications that need to be built. And this is where empowering business analysts, empowering operations with no code really allows us to build that infrastructure, the process mapping, the decision points between the streamlining of the end-to-end processes, okay, and being able to analyze and performance improve these processes is making the data decisions. So everyone's a developer. No coders are important. We can automate workflows, as I just showed you, using that flow. Data processing, the productivity. You can actually use ML within the platform to learn and help develop the characteristics that you need to improve these operations. We have a data model. We can improve the business logic as a result, and we have the most wonderful user interface that Alex is going to show you very shortly. Now, earlier I mentioned about building up using a composable approach, using the composable apps to provide that end-to-end process. And when you start looking in more depth at the processes, you can go faster. So whether this is at an operational level, across sales, HR, admin, you start pulling together the various business units and across these processes that flow, using your workflows, the user interfaces, the integrations, and as I say, the ML and algorithm. This allows us in this third strategic element to really change processes a lot faster with no code. The key features here for fast innovations are reusability, okay, using those composable apps, reusing them, being able to visually look at the modeling tools. This is a great example of risk and compliance, for example, to be easily able to explain from one end of the process to the other, all of those decision points, all of the interactions that need to happen throughout an organization in order to get from start to finish of the process. A very, very visual way of doing this allows it to be a lot quicker. We have this out-of-the-box functionality. It allows us to do the drag and drop that complements this visual modeling. The security is there within the platform, and it allows us, because we're in the platform, to use our dashboard and reporting to give us the view of the KPIs that are necessary to run your business whilst you scale. So these are the key features for really getting this fast innovation, as I say, for point number 3. Moving forward to point number 4, actually creating the unified operation, okay? Yeah, we need to be mindful of budgets. Everything always happens like that. Time, resource constraints. I think we've already been explaining here that using no coders, using a no code platform allows us to get going quicker and within budget. In terms of business expectations, because the business are managing the platform, you're always aligned. There isn't a difference between and a gap between maybe what IT are developing over here and what the business is needing over here. Getting away from paper processes, hey, that is very real in this environment. This is what the no code and process automation is all about. Okay, now let's go to point number 5. This is around accelerating our operations with no code. A very good algorithm here. Happy developers because of faster integration projects, and that allows a faster time to market. This is all about collaboration. This is all around no code, really pulling together technology and the business professionals to be collaborative, to be working on these projects and getting these operational efficiencies. Because at the end of the day, the speed is going to come by leveraging the no code, okay? Really accelerating not only customer faces, but also internal systems to get these operational processes that go end to end a lot quicker. And cost. No codes help save the cost because we don't have to have full expensive development teams or agencies or consultants. IT is playing a very valuable part here in terms of the integrations and making sure that the data comes from all of the other systems, and the business is really harnessing what is needed from a logic, from a business, from an operations perspective. These are the 3 key ingredients here. Now, before we show the platform in its fullness, just a few tips here around the workflow automation, okay? Making sure we analyze the business processes, okay? Take the solutions for the optimal orchestration. A really important part of visualizing those business processes. Create a very, very good team, a tech ecosystem, right? This is around center of excellence, okay? Having our team at the middle to create this technical ecosystem and to take advantage of machine learning based intelligence and automation. Providing a governance is an important element, okay? Defining, implementing this governance to really achieve what is needed across the platform, across the processes, not only short term, but also long term. And this, again, this governance is built into the platform. So, Alex, do you fancy showing us our platform, please, and how it can improve the operation effectiveness?
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me just start sharing my screen then, which you should see on your end just now.
Fantastic. Yes, we're there, Alex.
All right, perfect. So we're really just want to give you guys a quick overview of some of the key components of our low-code and no-code platform, right? And highlight what are the benefits of using the no-code to build any type of application, right? That would be improving the operations, that would be improving any type of processes within your organizations, right? And of course, we can go into very granular and very deep details of how exactly do we deliver, right? What is the purpose of these applications? And we're looking at an example of project management app, right? But the idea here is really to deliver excellent user experience. There we go. So the idea here is to deliver an excellent user experience in following different types of structured and unstructured workflows, right? To be able to guide the user between all of the milestones of their day-to-day operations. And we're achieving these tasks by using a combination of different techniques and approaches, right? From delivering of custom user interfaces that are going to be specific to the customer's requirements, what their business does, right? To the automation through workflows, business processes, cases, and of course, through actually delivery of then highly functional, multi-purpose homepages that can as well help us actually have a better understanding of the performance of the users, of the performance of the system, right? And of course, being able to take quick actions whenever we're working with the application. And all of this data, right, and all of these homepages are, of course, highly informative, right? They are dynamic. We can easily navigate and we can actually work with all of the data standing behind it, just so that we as well have a more agility, right, in how the users are going to be using the platform, right? And Andrew, I believe that you've actually brought this point quite a few times throughout your through your presentation. But the goal here is as well to follow this composability approach, right? And follow the approach of actually combining best of breed apps, right? Or components of those apps and deliver a product that is going to be highly matching the requirements of the business, of the end users, right? And of the organization. And of course, this is where we can use the combination of different pre-built sections and areas that Creatio has been working on for many years, right? This is where you can as well, again, use a custom design to achieve the required use case. But what is also quite important is also to keep in mind, what is the low code itself, right? How do we actually build these and how do we actually deliver these to our customers and how do they deliver them internally? This is where we do talk about some of the high level overviews, the control centers, the workspace of the citizen developer or a no coder, right? This is where we have the application hub, the ability to quickly jump into creation of a new app from complete scratch based on some templates, right? Leveraging some of the marketplace applications that are already available. This is where we can have all of the different components already delivered, right? And then, of course, jump into the creation and configuration of a specific app. And
so
of course,
Alex, this is what we were talking about earlier in terms of building up using composable apps.
Yes, absolutely. Right. So we had the overview of all of those different applications that are already available, right? Something that you can mix and match from. And of course, you can start with a completely blank slate, with a completely blank installation of Creatio if your use case is unique in all of the ways that it can be, right? And you actually need to start building something from a blank canvas. Right. And by the way, using this idea of a blank canvas, even if you're building something in Creatio, right, you always have the option to choose from a variety of different templates that we already provide out of the box. Right. But of course, there's always the way of creating something completely unique, completely custom to the organization. But the idea here is that no matter what the approach you're going to be using, whether you're going to start with the template of a homepage, right, whether you want to start with a template of a end user interface, you will still have all of the control, right, and you have full ownership of the solution, right, and absolute freedom in building any custom UIs that you would actually need to have delivered towards your end users, whether those are going to be some of the action items, right, whether those are going to be some of the analytical charts or other types of layout elements right? Folder structures, labels, pretty much anything that you can imagine can be added and can be created on top of Creatio's Freedom UI Designer. This is, of course, an incredible value delivered to our customers, because not only can they leverage from our best-in-class solutions that have been already built, but they can as well actually have the ability to quickly deliver any type of solutions that they require to have be delivered internally. And of course, the idea here is that creating these unique and beautiful user interfaces is not all of what low code actually represents, right? And no code represents. Of course, we can then navigate between all of the different data models that have been delivered, right? And actually create more, extend those, have a more administrative control over what do they provide, right? And of course, have the ability to actually as well create and design business processes and integrations. And Andrew, as you know, BPM is one of the crown jewels of Creatio, right? This is where we actually have the ability to automate pretty much any type of workflow with the help of the same no-code approach, right? Where we actually are using visual drag and drop interfaces of delivering the custom business logic that needs to be executed either with the help of the user that is going to be making a decision within the process execution itself, right? Or whether we actually want to create a completely, system processes without any human intervention and any human interaction, right? And of course, based on my experience of working with Creatio for 10 years, 95% of all of the use cases can be covered with the help of out-of-the-box elements, their combination, right? And of course, the concept of composability and reusability is also quite strong in BPM, because any instance of a business process that we will be delivering can then be reused as a sub process, right? So you don't have to recreate typical steps or typical types of functions all over and over again, but you can actually quickly reuse them from what has been already built. But another quite significant value of using BPM, right, as the automation tool is also the ability of actually taking it a step further. For instance, to be able to incorporate integrations into the execution of the processes, right? So be able to actually say that as part of this workflow, I want to run an integration call to a third-party application, right? Third-party system that has been already pre-configured as part of our local environments, right? And then actually just map out these parameters through simple point and click. So again, allowing non-professional developers to deliver very complex technical tasks as building integrations and connecting systems without having to go to IT, without having to develop a single line of code. And of course,
this is fantastic, Alex. Like, this to me summarizes the main emphasis of this whole episode. Okay, this is allowing the business to map out the logic, to allow the interfaces to actually pull data in where needed, so that instead of an operator needing to jump into several systems in order to complete an action or an activity, actually we can navigate our way through these legacy applications to extract the data where needed and to populate data where needed in order to fully automate this process, as opposed to manually needing to go in and out of these legacy environments. This is Absolutely. Really good, and it empowers the business, right? It's the business that's designing this, because the business understand their business the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the other point here is that for those users, right, that are only starting to use Creatio, we as well will be providing AI suggestions, right? So follow the AI assisted development that as well guides them, right? And simplifies the whole design step of business processes and other elements of Creatio, right? By actually following the commonality between, and analyzing the trends of how all of these processes are developed by the rest of our customer base. But another point here again is also quite important to mention that BPM, of course, is an excellent tool for more structure-based, sequence-based, business rules-based processes that follow a very clear and straightforward logic, where we, of course, can as well deliver automation to more chaotic, agile, fluid processes with the help of dynamic cases, which is another framework of automation, right? Which is also excellent to provide users with guidance in terms of what can be the array of different functions that can be executed at a specific stage, right? And of course, this is where we can as well have full control over which functions are going to be performed, how they're going to be performed, right? Have simple conditioning between all of the different steps, right? And conditioning between all of the different actions that are available. And of course, in those steps where we do have a much more clear defined path, we can as well incorporate BPM as part of the execution, right? So these two work in synergy, right? They're working absolutely organically for the end user, right? And the end users are actually those that take the most of value from these two frameworks of automation, because on one hand, there's no manual unnecessary data update, right? The system guides you to those steps. The system fetches the data from third-party sources, updates your application, right? And that actually allows it to be more productive, more efficient, and the whole operational side of day-to-day becomes a pleasure. So again, there's so much more that we can talk about, right? About machine learning models, we can talk about, security, but I believe that as a teaser, this is what I wanted to show. We'd be more than happy to dive deeper at one of our dedicated sessions with our customers. And Andrew, I believe that at this point, it will be over to you.
Yeah, well, look, Alex, thank you. I think we'll probably get some more questions coming in around this, but I think it's really important there around the AI element to help simplify. At the end of the day, this is about improving operations using no code, and the no code platform actually helping and suggesting to the author of the process how to simplify. That's an essential part. So Alex, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Andrew.
Alex, thank you very much for showing us this. So we've been talking here around the platform, no code, what it can do. This platform provides freedom. It provides freedom for you to own your automation. You don't need special skills. We've shown this. Customization is not a bad thing. It's a good thing for a no-code platform. Unlimited customization allows you to tailor your specific requirements without compromising that upgrade path, because you do not have a line of code, right? You've built your app, you've dragged and dropped it to make sure that it reflects the operational efficiency you want, and you've taken advantage of the no-code platform, allow you to efficiently model your process. Alongside the platform, from a license point of view, there's also transparency. There's no hidden costs. It's down on a user basis. It's not down to how many workflows you create. So actually, the more and more you use your platform for operation efficiency, the better value it becomes. But as I say, very much transparent. And you get to take advantage of this composable apps that we talked about in terms of building up and reusing those apps, whether on the marketplace or embedded in the platform itself already. Now, alongside freedom, the third part of our DNA is genuine care. Now, these are two words, but they're actually at the forefront of everything we do. We always go forward on making sure that our projects with customers are successful. I'd like to probably just rewind to that slide I showed where customers are responding with a 4.8 to 5 out of 5 on the feedback engines, okay? But also to underline another metric that really puts sentiment beyond two words, And that's our renewals. Customers, our retainment rate is 93%. Okay, that's class leading in SaaS. And our net retention is actually at 132%. So not only do clients stay with us, they actually like to do more with us. I think those are very much clarity around genuine care, because we don't just treat customers as numbers and trying to get a higher volume of customers at any extent. Actually, we actually put our business with clients first. And make sure that we support our clients as a result. So I think that's a good testament to it. Now, there we go. One platform for your process automation to make operational efficiency. The freedom that comes with the platform by empowering the business to be able to control their own destiny, to be able to control their operational flow, and the genuine care that goes with it. As I say, these three parts of the DNA provide the success between Creatio and you as a customer. Now, I believe it's a good segue here to allow us to introduce our no-code playbook. This is the recipe for putting no-code into practice. We're releasing this book on the 4th of October. We're going to be joined by the Woz, very much looking forward to his reflections and what is the future. So please join us on the 4th of October. Here's the QR code again. I showed this at the start, so if you weren't quick enough to get your camera phone out, please do that now. Grab the QR code. Please register. Come and join us. Come and see this structure behind the no code of design to go live to everyday delivery. Okay. Now I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to talk about some Q&A, but I'm going to show another QR code because today has been around our operational efficiencies, how to improve things. So if you'd like to continue this discussion, then please use your camera phone, grab the QR code, and we will follow up with you. So Alex, would like to talk a bit about Q&A. I think a few questions have been coming in. Have you got access to this? Maybe maybe I can read one here for you.
Yeah, go for it.
How to improve process and operational quality with no code? I think we've been showing that, but maybe you could summarize it in an easy to understand format.
Sure. Well, I would say that the key here is actually use a combination, right, of different low-code approaches and low-code techniques, right? On one hand, it is all about the user efficiency, right? Because it all depends on the end user at the end of the day, right? The more productive, the more efficient they are, the more they are going to be able to achieve through the day, right? And this is already a boost to it. But another important component of it from the system perspective is able to affect this efficiency, right? So be able to quickly adapt the process, right? Be able to quickly bring that automation component to the light so that the users are actually able to identify where the inefficiency is, right? Or the citizen developer can identify it and then actually quickly deliver it so that we can eliminate it much, much faster, right? And this point from identification to delivery is where we have the value of no code, right? From being able to quickly analyze, build, monitor, or build, deliver, then monitor, right? And make further improvements to it if any are needed.
Okay, so an iterative approach. Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. I have another question here. Can we manage manual time-consuming operations with no code? And yes, Creatio provides thousands of organizations, okay, from various industries. It's not specific to an industry all industries are covered here, but with advanced tools, okay, you can streamline your end-to-end processes. You can make sure you cover your repetitive operations. I think we've been really clear with this, and you can really empower the business through making the data-backed decisions, more intelligent insights. So I think really it's exactly what we've been showing here today: manual, time-consuming operations, or even operations that are needing to be reliant upon stovepiped or legacy systems that are not integrated. So an operative needing to go into 4 or 5 screens to complete a process actually can get completely automated by using that BPM technology that Alex was showing for workflow, for the process operation and automation. So yes, absolutely. A great question there. Thank you. Alex, there's another one here. How can we use the system for collaboration and to run multi-team projects? So this is very much, I think, about the humanistic element of collaboration and multi-teams for projects, because ultimately that's what's going to need to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think an important point to remember here is also the fact that Creatio can deliver multiple applications on the same platform, right? So ultimately, different teams from different departments can be utilizing the same solution, and because we already have inbuilt components that allow us to run internal communication and collaboration, right? Through enterprise social network, through connectivity to messaging and virtual meeting platforms and other solutions and types of functionality. Ultimately, what you would be able to do is to create this environment where different users, different departments, different roles are using Creatio as a single solution across all of the different types of apps and workflows and processes, operational, non-operational. And by doing so, right, exchange data, right, so store data, access data without any limitations. And that, of course, again, is going to create a lot of improvements in terms of how the users collaborate moving forward, right? But even in the very beginning, the adoption aspects of the solution, right? They have the ability to always ask anyone in the company and the organization how to use the system, right? Because everybody's ultimately going to be using the same system. So that's another, again, important point from perspective of the solution and the human aspects of it.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, Alex, I think we're at time now. So I want to say thank you to you for showing the Creatio platform, the Creatio platform. Thank you. I also wanted to say to everyone that's joined, thank you for sparing your personal time. Thank you for being with us to understand how to make operations more efficient and effective. And I'll leave you with the slide I was just showing in case you'd like to follow up, okay? How no-code can help your organization, how you can get the innovation to come with it from automating processes. So thank you very much. Please do grab the QR code and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you all. Thank you, Andrew. Have a good one.